by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Welcome into a remote version of the CHGO White Sox podcast. I am Sean Anderson, the host of the CHGO White Sox podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Alongside me is Vinnie Duber. He is our CHGO White Sox beat writer. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. And Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at Ekmanwell23. He is our CHGO White Sox community leader. We got 3 huge topics today. We're going to start off with Joe Maddon, possibly to the White Sox. We got a brand new game for you Friday, folks. You'll be driving into work and you'll be able to listen to Herb and Vinny pick and go through all the files in their brains. And we're going to start off with the most important thing. Johnny Cueto has an Instagram, and it's beautiful. I shared a different article with you guys, and Vinny's like, this isn't even the best White Sox thing yet. I mean, like, you haven't even seen the Johnny Cueto horse video. So I watched the Johnny Cueto horse video in the DMV today, and it was a really glorious watch, I have to say.
Johnny Cueto knows what he's doing when it comes to social media. He's been a maven since long before he joined the White Sox, and now that he has White Sox DNA, as we've been talking about all offseason, now that he's got some of that, we can revel in his his equine antics on Instagram and doing. It looks like, you know what? It looks like Johnny's going to be going to the Olympics, doing some equestrian in the Olympics, doesn't it? With maybe representing the Dominican Republic the next time those come along.
Yeah, I mean, like, high step in the horse was, Herb.
It was nice. It was really probably takes a long time for a horse to do that particular dance, but Johnny looked really comfortable with this horse just doing this trot that's kind of weird and kind of dancing. And it's a talent right there for Johnny Cueto to be on this mount and be comfortable with the dog. And there's somebody come to get me because I'm talking about Johnny Cueto apparently. But yeah, it's a very impressive thing. This guy is an all-around Renaissance man. Too bad I don't feel like I want him around next year for the White Sox. It's, not because of the person, just because I think the performance will fail a little bit or go down a little bit. But the personality is A+.
Yeah. Wow, come on, Herb. You couldn't just revel in some horse talk for a bit. You had to bring it back to off. Man, we can't go a full 90 seconds without talking about off-season moves or something like that. So, man, just a guy and his horse. We can't just enjoy it for the first little bit of this.
I had a wet blanket that whole thing.
Yeah, way to go, Herb.
Herb, when are you getting up on a horse?
Never.
We saw you challenge Yasmani to the race, to the foot race. Now I think we need you to go up against Johnny in horse riding.
I like this, Herb, because I think you're never going to dye your hair blonde, and it doesn't matter if you shave your head, because you joined the stream today. I thought you got a haircut. So yeah, I think you should be doing this. I think you got to teach a horse how to do this.
Yeah, if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can see Johnny and his horse.
You can hear it too.
Yeah, it's weird.
Tremendous.
I'm never getting on a horse again. I got on one, I think, on a church retreat back when I was like 12, and the horse was going the slowest it ever has gone. And I still was like, nope, this is terrible. I do not want to do this. And I've taken heed the advice of Harry Tynowitz and Brendan McCaffrey that horses are nothing to mess with, and you get bucked off really quickly and you hurt yourself.
I want to see Herb and Johnny on a pair of horses going down Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah, his horse was
the urban
cowboy. You don't remember him?
Urban cowboy, yeah, riding down the expressway on a horse.
Yeah, getting chased, by the cops, and the horse is like hooves bleeding because it's on freaking concrete the whole time, going miles down the expressway. Yeah, I'm good. And a horse would break under my weight.
It's furlongs when it's a horse, Herb.
Look at you, equestrian guy. They got equestrian out there in Geneva when you grew up?
Furloughs are my dad's day off because he's a fireman. What are you talking? What's a furlong?
A furlong is how they measure a horse race.
Why do you know that?
I don't know, but I do.
It's not like you
Arlington
watch
Park over here. Get
really.
the swat over here.
Yeah, how dare the Bears move over there? That's strictly for horses.
I didn't know Vinny was a horse guy, and the more you know. Vinny, have you rode many horse in your life?
I've been on a horse one time in my life, also at I think was it 5th grade outdoor ed up in Wisconsin. We went up there horseback ride. I remember it being very hard to balance.
You said it was a church thing, Herb?
Yeah, I was a church guy back in the day. A thing called Awana. People out there might know what it is. It's just like a thing you went to on Tuesday to run, do some activities, and then learn Bible verses.
Were
And
you
got
also
candy
in
for it?
5th grade too?
Hmm?
Were you also in like 5th grade?
I was 12, so I was probably in 6th grade.
Okay, because mine was 6th grade. We went to this place, 6th and 8th grade, the lovely elementary school of St. Linus in Oak Lawn. Took all
Named
of
after the kid with the blanket.
Yes, and named
Yeah.
after the kid with the blanket. And all the 6th and 8th graders went to White Pines. I think it was in northern Illinois. I think closer to Iowa. And like I tasted real life mint. Like you could, they took you out in the fields, and there was fresh mint growing. It was beautiful, right?
They have that at Jewel, Sean.
They do, but it was on the ground, and I ate it. The floor was growing mint, Vinnie, and then I ate it. But they also took us on the horse, and I thought the horse was going to kick me off completely. I don't remember not being able to balance. I just thought the horse was going to completely get on its back legs and kick me off. But also my other fear happened, and the horse started to use the washroom while I was on it, and that was a very unpleasant experience.
Which one? One or two?
Not the first one. It would be the second one.
Well, the second one's better. You don't want you don't want the one.
Horses do that.
Horses do.
I want to see.
Everyone does it, apparently.
I want to see Johnny Cueto representing the Dominican Republic versus Bruce Springsteen's daughter representing the United States of America in horsing around at the Olympics in 2024.
I love the gold medals for horsing around. Jessica, I was going to say Jessica Simpson. Jessica Springsteen versus Johnny Cueto in horsing around. Go Puerto Rico, honestly. I'm a huge Springsteen fan.
Dominican Republic, but sure.
And I don't know if you're going to introduce this now, Sean, but somebody else got a equestrian friendly property on the White Sox.
Oh yeah, okay. I was wondering if you were going to completely wet blanket this again and then bring up Joe Maddon or something. No. We could share about Luis Roberts' mega mansion. This is from mansionglobal.com. I read it every morning. I don't know about you guys. I wake up and read mansionglobal.com and just try to Gary my life. And you've talked about manifestation, Herb. So I just manifest mansions on a daily basis.
You got to fake it till you make it.
Yes, the White Sox outfielder Luis Robert stopped faking it and made it, and bought a mega mansion for $12.25 million, which also boasts a basketball court, which scares me, and a custom-made trampoline, which also scares me. But what doesn't scare me is Luis Robert is also the owner of a butterfly sanctuary.
It's kind of cool.
I like it.
I mean, that's cool. I don't really care about when these guys buy houses. You know what I mean? Like it's always plastered all over the internet. And it's like, guess what? A rich person bought a big house. Congratulations for them. I'm more so concerned. You know what, though? Here's the good thing. I'm glad that Luis Robert is spending his money on something other than Papa John's.
Yeah, I agree. But now he's spending it on a basketball court and a trampoline, which scares me.
Which is way more fun than eating Domino's every day or whatever the hell he was using that money for before. So
he'll stay. Hey, they keep him more in shape than Papa John's. I love the butterfly sanctuary. We got Dylan Cease, who is a bee. What's a beekeeper?
His dad is a beekeeper.
Yeah, but I mean, Dylan's done it. I mean, there's videos
it's called
of
a beekeeper.
Dylan holding it, but like, there's not like an art to it. Like, there's not an act. What's the act of beekeeping?
Beekeeping.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm sure it's a thing, but I don't know what it is.
APICULTURI.
Yeah, see, that wasn't nearly as fun.
So apiary.
Okay.
Yeah, an apiary is a beehives.
There you go. That's his mega mansion. Can you go to the movie theater? I know, you just got to click on the slideshow there, Steven. I know it is ridiculous. It's vast, but it's not too shocking. I mean, he signed a $50 million contract. But it's this movie theater that is just insane. Like, I mean, he can
pay for it.
He made $50 million in his first contract. Look at this movie theater. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 6, 18 people. He could fit like what 3/4 of the White Sox roster in his movie theater. That's baller.
He got our grades for his offense already, right on the chairs.
Oh boy, there you go, Herb. Nice one.
Herb is the opposite of Herbie Sunshine today.
Yeah, I mean it got dark and rainy, and now Herbie Sunshine is going away for the
video,
day.
Johnny Cueto. Now get off the roster.
Yeah,
cool movie theater, Luis Robert. You stink. Like, come on,
hey,
Herb.
Get one haircut and then you start feeling yourself a little bit.
There you go.
And by the way, Sean, I do have the blonde stuff like right over there. You can't see it. It's off camera. I gotta go to a wedding.
You can't get up?
Tony Gill's wedding this tomorrow, and so
Oh,
after
hey.
that wedding, I'm blonde. That's why I cut the hair for the wedding, and then secondly, I'll blonde my hair and then do it for like a day or two, and then cut it all off again.
And watch out! Don't use Tony. I mean, he's getting married. He's going to be a married man. That's Anthony Gill to you.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, come on.
Mr.
What's his
Anthony
wife's?
Gill.
Congratulations to the two of them. I
Stephanie.
forget. Stephanie and Anthony. Congrats to those two. That should be a fun day tomorrow. But so Sunday you're going to dye your hair, is what you're saying.
Sunday I'll dye my. Well, I'll have it dyed already. I'm not going to do it on the air because it's a podcast only show, so no one will see it until Monday's show.
Okay, so you're going to do it on Monday's show.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it on Monday's show. I'm going to have come in and it's already going to be dyed. It takes a long time, Sean.
He's got like a big vat of it. It's brewing. It's brewing up off camera.
I've done it. I didn't brew a vat. I did it when I went to Miami, and it took less than 24 hours. Like Vinnie said about the hat, washing your hat. Don't Google it. Just be lazy. Throw it in the dishwasher because they're going to tell you to like make a vat of hair dye and everything. Just put it on your head. Put it on your head, let it sit, then take it off. And it worked. I did want to bring this up. Turn back, then forward. Longtime lurker, first time commenting. Appreciate what you guys do to help me keep in tune with my hometown teams while delivering mail in Oakland. So shout out to the USPS. That's the United States Postal Service. I did double check that. I thought it might just be an Illinois thing. But shout out to our USPS workers like Mailman Jack too. So we got 2 postal workers listening to our podcast.
Excellent.
That's huge.
Appreciate that turn back from Ford.
Yes. And Herb, is it Cisco blonde? Dan from the 219?
No, it's not going to be platinum. It's just going to be whatever is in this package. They say from my hair of black to what the blonde is, it's going to be kind of orangish. So
okay. Well, hopefully not too orange.
Yeah.
It's
really hard to strip it. So I might have to do it a second time to make it more blonde.
At least orange is a Halloween color, black and orange. You could just, wear that and you'll be good for at least the month of October.
We do forward to because I just got my fade is looking right. And so it's going to be ruined that. And then I got to wait until like a month for it to get back.
You'll have a fresh new orange fade. I don't see the problem with this. We do also not see the problem with our brand new sponsors, Shady Rays. We are very, very excited. They're going to be hooking us up with some new sunglasses, and we're very excited to tell you about them. I've never understood why sunglasses were so expensive, and Shady Rays has set out to change that. You don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses this fall because our friends at Shady Rays have you covered. The best part about Shady Rays, they have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear, lost and broken replacements. I usually like to place my glasses on my bed. And then I end up sitting on my bed, which has my glasses on it. So that means I then sit on my glasses and break them. With Shady Rays, if you lose or break your shades on day one, they told us that they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. If you drop them in the lake, off a cliff, anything, they'll replace them. I once was at Lake Michigan and dropped them in Lake Michigan. Vinny, I didn't get those sunglasses back. They were lost to the sea.
That's littering. That's littering.
It was an accident.
You could be arrested for that, Sean.
I blow out. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to.
Also, you got to change up this whole sunglass storage situation that you've got going on here. Why would you put them in a place where you could repeatedly sit on them?
Well, those were my regular glasses.
That sounds like a you problem more than a sunglasses problem.
Right, but their Shady Rays is not going to blame me, right? Even though it's a me problem, they're going to help me out. They're right. They should. They shouldn't give me this replacement, but they would. And again, it's the best in the eyewear, so like no one else is doing this. Also very cool too. Shady Rays, just because this is the first time we're talking about them, I do want to mention Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed, and have donated over 20 million meals to date. So that's awesome. So this is a fantastic company that we're very excited to be working with, and exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. Buy one, get one free. You can also get 2 pairs for as low as $54. Redeem only at shadyrays.com. SHADYRAYS.com, where you can find all of their newest and best shades. Again, the code is CHGO for 50%, 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. Very excited for Shady Rays to be on board, and excited to get those samples.
Can't wait. And by the way, here it is, Sean. You can see it on the thing. See, Carol.
Oh, look
textures and tones. It's for African American women, but I'm closest to that.
Yeah, you're all right.
I'm gonna use that one.
I think only the pelvis is different. Your head's fine. The hair's fine, right? I don't think it's gonna be that big of a difference.
Nope.
Let's go into our game time ad too, and let you know. I had a buddy slide in. If you're looking for the best deals for any sporting event, doesn't even have to be in Chicago. I had my friend from Philadelphia slide in my DMs and said, "Hey, what's the game time link?" Because he needed to buy Sixers tickets. He's looking to go to the Sixers Bucks games. This is the best place to buy any tickets. Herb got tickets when he went out to Atlanta to go see the Braves. Our guy, it was Marcos. Marcos went out to San Diego, bought his tickets to see the Sox and Padres play through Game Time. It's the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. They have the best last minute price drops that can be found on seats that you never thought you could buy. When we were at Guaranteed Rate Field, we found bleacher seats in the 108 for about $10 a piece. A fantastic deal the day of. Another deal day of. We got club seats for about $10 a piece as well. A fantastic deal. So if you're looking to go to a concert this winter or this fall, a sporting event like a Chicago Bears game, Bulls game, Blackhawks game, head over to Game Time. It was created by the fans for the fans, and they guarantee the lowest price. If you love CHGO, then you'll love Game Time. And the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats to all your favorite events. Let's get into the Joe Maddon talk. I did see while I was reading that we had 41 live viewers, and now it's down to 32. So let's get back into the White Sox talk. Joe Maddon was on the CHGO Cubs podcast today.
Maybe people just want more horse talk, Sean.
Maybe.
That's also possible as well.
They're
upset that we went away from the horse talk.
We can book a horse expert. We could try to book Johnny. Cueto
just book a horse.
You can book a horse, of course. Let's go to Joe Maddon, though. Joe Maddon joined the CHGO Cubs podcast with Luke Stuckmeyer, Ryan Herrera, and Cody Del Mendo. And Luke Stuckmeyer was like, "Hey, Joe, we're running out of time. What about the White Sox?"
I know you've said you'd love to manage if the perfect situation was there. You'd go back in. Are the White Sox interesting to you, the Chicago White Sox on the other side of town? And number two, does Cousin Eddie still exist? Do you still have the van?
Okay, first of all, of course the White Sox are interesting. All major league teams are interesting. But I've not been approached. Honestly, I've not been approached, and I don't even know if I will be, and that's okay. I'm still working through all this stuff with the book. I think people understand where I'm coming from right now, which is really important to me, and that's why I'm doing these kind of things, because the part of baseball that I'm trying to help influence is to put analytics back in its place, information, whatever you want to call it, and get real baseball being played once again, the kind that I think fans are looking for.
You show those damn numbers, those pesky numbers. Who's boss, Joe Maddon? Put them back in their place. What do you guys glean from what Joe Maddon said about the Sox job, or what he didn't say, really?
Yeah, it sounds like the Sox haven't called him about the Sox job. That's what I gleaned. It sounds like they haven't called him about it. I think I said it the other day, and I'll keep saying it. I mean, they should interview anybody they can interview. Right. There's no telling where some interesting ideas or some useful information will come from as they keep interviewing folks. As we keep hearing, there might be a preference for somebody who's done this job before. And Joe Maddon has done it before and done it well. You know what I mean? I think White Sox fans obviously have their anti-Cub bias that they enjoy having so much. But but you can't deny the fact that the guy has gone to a lot of postseasons, has won a World Series, has done a lot of winning. So that's something that should appeal to the White Sox. That being said, who knows if his personality or his opinions or his ways of doing things line up with what Rick and the rest of the front office are looking for. And that I don't even mean specifically the whole crusade that he appears to be on at the moment. I'm talking about anything from just the way he works with players to the way that he has some certain theories about certain situations and using a bullpen or using a lineup or stuff like that. So it could be any number of things that mean he doesn't fit, and there could be any number of things that mean he would fit. And I think that you got to just keep an open mind. And if they are going to talk to as many people as possible, there's no reason, in my opinion, that he shouldn't be on the list.
I would love for Joe Maddon to just, go on a speaking tour for his book, watch him on TV, analyzing a baseball game, but not for this 2023 White Sox team being the manager. I don't think that he is the right fit. Do I think there's a place in baseball for Joe Maddon? Of course. There's a place for some other team for him to be a manager. but not this White Sox team. I just think what he's talking about there is the opposite direction the White Sox are going into, or at least what Rick Hahn had expressed, that, more embracing of, analytics, more embracing of winning culture, which he hasn't been part of since 2018, whenever he left the Cubs. He's probably not the right guy for the White Sox. I love the man. I love to hear him talk, but I don't want him to be on my White Sox because I don't think he'll get the job done. And I don't think that he's the right fit.
Yeah, maybe instead of, when Steve Stone retires, maybe instead of replacing him with Gordon Beckham, you replace him with Joe Maddon. Like, I'd be fine listening to him in a media setting. I don't want him to be the White Sox manager. Just the fact that he is on this like weird crusade against numbers, like, who cares, dude? Honestly, the Cubs job, Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer were on part of like one of the forefront of adding analytics into the front office and adding it into baseball, and clearly that helped you get to the peak of your career. So I don't know. I don't love his tone there. I also love Sox Hab here saying all major league teams are interesting. Certainly tells me it's Maddon's dream job. So I don't know if he has strong interest in this White Sox job anyways. But like I said yesterday, I do think that the fact that the White Sox have the smallest analytics department in baseball, and the fact that he does have such a strong track record, like the Tampa Bay Rays job, where he had a 51% winning percentage when the Rays weren't good, when they were in the dark days, he made them good. And then also the Cubs, and I don't know if he made them good, that might be too much credit to Joe Maddon himself, but he was a part of that organization when they really started turning around. And then the Cubs, he had nearly a 60% winning percentage. So that is just proven to at least be something that I would welcome as a White Sox fan. 60% sounds a lot better than 50%. That might mean a division title or two. So I like the pedigree there, but I don't think that there's strong interest there. I don't know if we need to consider him too strongly. He has that experience. He has that pedigree as well of coming from two strong contending organizations. But there's just something, I just don't think he's going to manage again. I think when he's doing this much media, it seems like he's getting closer to a media life rather than managing again. The Angels was his dream job. I don't think he's going to be too interested in getting back into a dugout, just because I think he wanted to make it work with the Angels, and it still seems like he's pretty miffed about the whole thing and the way it wasn't worked. The fact that he left that job and is now like, oh, analytics is what I need to focus on. I don't know. Like, it seems like Joe Maddon's going to step into his post-managerial career. And, I think he's in his 60s at this point. So I wouldn't be too shocked if he just called it a career at this point, being 68 years old.
Yeah, I think Ken, our commenter here, has it right. I think to go ahead and say that he's railing against numbers is definitely not correct. He's got a very specific thing that he's talking about, and that's the foisting of that information upon a manager, and the overwhelming amount of it, I think, too, is very much what he is talking about here. He wants to be able to be the person who distills that information for the players and for the rest of the team in general. And I don't think he felt that he was getting that at his last stop, that it was kind of a deluge on everybody and it was overwhelming. And perhaps that's the case. I don't know what's going on inside the Angels front office, but I tend to agree with that kind of a little bit. I know so many people on social media and a lot of baseball fans online in general are very much, looking for every scrap of information they can find. And I think that it becomes very much this culture war that doesn't really need to exist between people who love the stats and people who hate the stats, people who want, to go back to just go up there, close your eyes and swing. And hopefully you hit it where you want to hit it. But I don't think that is really very interesting to me. I don't really care too much about that argument. I think for me, it's about results. And, if it doesn't matter which way you get them, as long as you win the game, certainly nobody should be saying no to any information, because information is good. But, to go ahead and try to plug a bunch of numbers into your team and hope that comes out because the numbers said so, is also not very interesting. And it's also not very fun, to be honest with you. This is a sport, or this is a game, and it's an entertainment field. And the more math you throw at people, the more it might take away from that entertainment value a little bit. But certainly, what you can't deny, Joe Maddon has done the job of winning. And you're absolutely right in pointing out, you worked for Theo Epstein, who is not like, some
Right.
old school guy. You worked for the Rays, which is not some old school organization. Joe Maddon has plenty of experience winning and succeeding under people who who know how to distribute the information. And, it doesn't need to be analytics versus scouting or anything like that. It just needs to be play baseball and go ahead and use everything at your disposal as much as you'd like, player, to go ahead and improve your chances of succeeding at your craft.
I think what he said on the House of L podcast with Lawrence Holmes was teachers teach, presenters present. So I think that was, to summarize what you were trying to say there of, just give them a nugget.
I think as Joe Maddon needs to be open-minded to all information. And so, yes, if people are overstepping their bounds as far as going directly to the players, yes, he has a beef there, but he should be open-minded to these new numbers. I know he is, but he should be like, okay, whatever is going to help my team improve, I should be all for it. And just like I said with the manager, he should be knowing each player's specific idiosyncrasies and know exactly what they need. Like, do you want too much information? Do you want all the information? Or do you want none? You just want to go up there, see ball, hit ball. There's different type of people out there who like information. There's people who don't. They're just like, okay, that's way too much. You're inundating me with things I don't need. I'm just going to go up there and do me. And so I think Joe Maddon has the right idea where he doesn't want these people who don't know baseball. And he probably feels that these people don't know baseball. And he's giving these numbers to the players over his head, which they shouldn't be talking to the players and giving this information. The stuff should be filtered through Joe or the coaching staff, and then they disseminate what they need to those individual players. And if those individual players want to go and find that information from themselves, that's on them. But to have people in the office, either front office people, interfering in his clubhouse, which I understand Joe's talking about, that's his clubhouse. He's the manager. He's in charge of those people. As Vinnie said yesterday, the most important part of a manager's job is controlling the clubhouse. And so not all these extra people in the clubhouse getting in these players' ears. Tell that to Joe, tell that to the bench coach, tell that to the pitching or hitting coach, but do not talk to them individually, and they'll suss out what they need to tell the players in the games before the games start.
Well, and that's why I think, like Vinny said, you just have to manage it, or you have to interview him. Like, you have to give him that shot, because when Rick Hahn says in his press conference, you have to understand how the game has grown and evolved in the last decade, which I think Joe Maddon has understood, but at the same time respect old school responsibilities. It's why I said yesterday, I think that with the current front office, Joe Maddon might be a perfect fit for the White Sox. I think with a different front office, I would probably look at a Joe Espada. But if the White Sox ended up hiring Joe Maddon, I wouldn't be too annoyed as a fan with that outcome, just because he's had success before and it could be worse. It could be Tony La Russa.
I'm trying to think of how the reaction of White Sox fans would be. And I know you shouldn't hire based upon what your fan base should or they're doing, but you had a disappointing hire the last time and then a disappointing season this year. And if you hire Joe Maddon, and I know that's very far-fetched, as he said himself, he hasn't been contacted. That fan base, I don't know how they're going to jibe on this. I mean, most of the comments here we've got have been poor. They don't like Joe Maddon being the White Sox manager. So I think you have to take that into account this year for the White Sox, because of all the history and recent history of the White Sox and their hiring practices and this bad past year they just had.
Yeah, they certainly shouldn't be hiring based on PR. This is not the job with which to do that, right? That being said, they can't really seem to get a PR win here over the last few years. And I don't think that I don't think there's going to be anybody that they hire that's going to receive universal acclaim. I think Espada could come in and win the press conference and get, a majority of folks on board with that. But really anybody that they hire who's done this job before, I think there's going to be plenty of people steamed about it, or at least not thrilled. So I don't really see a PR win coming here, maybe with the exception of Joe Espada, just because we have seen, him get some favorable reaction from folks here in the early going of this process.
Well, can I get your thoughts on this? Imagine Joe coming to the White Sox looking to avoid front office interference. I don't know if I've really seen too many displays of front office interference. I think the one or at least two times I think I can note, at least from the 2021 season, where that happened would be the time right before they announced Tim Anderson would be a starting shortstop for the American League All-Star team. Kenny Williams talking to the team in early July. And then there was also the report that around the Dodgers fiasco where he ended up, Tony La Russa ended up walking Trey Turner, that there would be more input into the lineup from the front office. And that is where we started seeing more of a daily and steady, consistent lineup where the top six would stay the same rather than the kind of rotating chairs that Tony was doing earlier on in the season. So I don't really know if the White Sox front office would interfere. If the White Sox are winning and Joe Maddon's the manager and they're 30-15, I don't think he's hearing anything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I again, that's probably the case in all organizations. If that's what your record is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know how superstitious everybody is in this sport. It could just be a matter of, oh well, don't ring the phone because we've been winning so much without the phone ringing. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't really see that kind of thing. And certainly from a baseball standpoint, you know what I mean? I don't really see the White Sox having done that thing. Certainly they didn't do much of it, if any of it, when Tony La Russa was the manager. A guy hired because he knew what he was doing kind of thing. Ricky Renneria was maybe a little different story just because of the experience level. And maybe, they were in a different point, obviously, as an organization being in a rebuilding mode kind of thing. But yeah, I never really heard too much about that sort of thing. We did hear Miguel Cairo mention, input from the front office, but I think he was talking about the regular, right, what Joe Maddon was talking about, though at a more normal degree kind of thing. I mean, here's what our folks up in the front office found about these matchups and these tendencies kind of thing. And so I think that you want that. Listen, they talk about it all the time. You want collaboration. You don't want people to be completely staying away from each other. That's not good. That's why does anybody have their job if that's the case? You know what I mean? Seriously, their job is to talk to each other, and their job is to be there on a regular basis. Rick Hahn is down on the field most every day during a home game, watching batting practice and conversing with Tony La Russa. I would see that as what both of those guys' job descriptions were, not as some sort of interference that wasn't supposed to be going on.
And you need that cohesive relationship between the general manager, front office, and the manager. That's why you hire the person that you want, because you know that for the most part, they're going to be carrying out your battle standard. They're going to be pretty much in sync of what you want to do with your baseball club. That's why you acquired the players as the general manager or the baseball ops guy. Then you want those players to be used in the correct way by the manager. And so I would say that Joe would be on the opposite side of what Rick was explaining in his press conference there. But, and I'm sure Rick doesn't want to butt heads again. And he wants to, you're going to have arguments with the guys who are managers and general managers. Those happen from time to time, but you don't want to have constantly happening, like the movie Moneyball, where Billy Bean's saying to Art Howe, like, hey man, I want you to play Hattiesburg at first. And he's like, no, I'm the manager. I make the lineups. You don't want that type of relationship. You want a relationship where a give and take is there, and also know that the general manager is the boss at the end of the day. And that if you want something done specifically, that manager has to acquiesce.
And if we want to speak to some collaboration that you could see between at least the manager, what I would assume is collaboration between the manager and front office, we know Tony La Russa, a big part of his managerial success was the bullpen. One of the first moves the White Sox did after signing Tony La Russa to be the manager was go out and sign an all-star closer in Liam Hendricks. You also saw Joe Kelly be added this offseason, somebody that Tony La Russa has a long relationship with, because Joe Kelly was in the Cardinals minor league system when Tony was the manager, and was also in Boston together. Maybe that is where their relationship started, was back in Boston. So I mean, and I think Tony clearly, just by the way that Leury Garcia played as much as he did, it seemed like Tony La Russa was in favor of that Leury Garcia extension. So I would say that those three signings right there are signs of collaboration between Rick and Tony. So I don't know if a Joe Maddon signing would be doomed. I don't think they can screw up this managerial signing that much. Soxhap said something like, if Espada gets his shot and fails, I won't be too upset at that. Like, I think if any manager fails, it's just because the White Sox organization is just set up the wrong way. And things as the organization as a whole, well, I think you're making that face, Vinny, just because baseball, it's tough to win in baseball.
Right.
That's a fair thing to absolutely bring up. But also, like, I think we've seen signs like, when it comes to the injuries, when it comes to some of the signings that we've questioned, some of the trades, like, I think it might just be the whole thing of, everything has to be perfect. And I don't know if everything's perfect with the White Sox to put them in that position.
Sure. I think you could probably save that same question about all 29 teams that don't win the World Series this year, right?
The Dodgers, I think, put themselves in a good position each and every year. I don't know if I could question the Dodgers and the Yankees who've had a winning season since 1992.
My point being, whoever's hired to manage this team, you would expect, is not going to be brought in and said, okay, do 2022 over again, and hopefully you get a better result. That obviously is not going to happen. Oh, we're gonna take Eloy Jimenez away from you for 2 months next year, just hoping that you can take care of business. I don't think that you can solely say that the failings of 2022 were solely on the manager. I don't think you could say that the failings in the future would solely be not on the manager, if that makes sense. I think everybody, scapegoated Tony this past season because it's easy to do that with a manager and they didn't like him to begin with. But I think a lot of people also would be have the opposite feeling about a new manager, particularly Joe Espada, who seems to be, the preferred choice for a lot of people. If things were to keep going wrong, oh, well, it's not Espada's fault. He was the right hire that we all liked. It's everything else went bad. You got to be able to have it. You can't have it both ways. So I think, right. Keep in mind, Herb, you say it all the time. You don't know how much difference the manager really makes. And I think you've got to keep that mindset when you like the guy, when you don't like the guy, when the team wins and when the team loses.
100%. That before Tony La Russa, I felt that way 100%, but I felt this way a little bit that Tony cost the White Sox some games actively. But yes, Joe Espada and every other manager that I've seen as a White Sox observer, if Joe Espada becomes the manager, they're negligible. They'll win you some games, and I'll put those in quotes, and they'll lose you some games. But at the end of 162, they all even out, and you're going to be the record that you were destined to be, because the players didn't do their jobs, or the players did do their jobs and they came out to a successful season. So yes, I think no matter what, this manager needs to know his job is not to meddle with this team, not to tinker with the team. The front office does the roster stuff. Just keep this clubhouse steady. Keep the clicks and stuff. They could still have their clicks, but when you come on the green grass, you're working as a unit. Make sure that is clear. Settle the arguments in the clubhouse, all the fights, all the bickering, all that good stuff, and make sure you have a culture in there that is conducive to winning instead of backbiting and all the rest of that stuff. That is the most important job of a manager. If we can get a guy who is adept at settling arguments and adept at building communities, I'm all for it, no matter who the guy is.
Right. And hey, I think the biggest criticism I had of Tony La Russa was the 10-year absence he had. And I think if the White Sox only hire Ozzie Guillen, then I think the same criticisms will come back. But if they hire Joe Espada, who doesn't have managerial experience, but has been, in baseball for the past 10 years, they hire Joe Maddon, who's had managerial experience as recent as last year. Even Joe Girardi, I'd probably bite my tongue and have to just be like, okay. I just would really be baffled at a certain handful of people that would be hired to manage. But I think really a lot of the names, even Matt Quatraro has been brought up recently as a possible favorite of the front office, the current bench coach of the Rays. We'll see. I wouldn't be against it. I'm really for anything, I guess, at this point. It's mostly on the players, as we know, and it's mostly about what this roster looks like in 2023. All right, let's jump into Pins and Aces. Pins and Aces, the official golf apparel partner of CHGO. We love our Pins and Aces gears, and Steven, our guy, our main resident golfer on the CHGO podcast, our White Sox producer, gets tons of compliments on and off the course when he's hitting the links. Pins and Aces is a family-owned golf and apparel business, and like Steven wanted to let you know yesterday, our favorite product is the beer sleeve. He brings this around because it's an innovative product that allows you to store 7 beers right inside your golf bags, and it keeps drinks cold the entire round. They also make amazing polos, hats, and golf bags. So you can buy a golf bag and then buy a beer sleeve and then put the beer sleeve in the golf bag and then put beers in the beer sleeve that's in the golf bag. And then you could throw it over your shoulder that has the Pins and Aces polo on it. And then you'll get a ton of compliments on the course. So,
I'm going to need to take some notes. Can you run that through again, Sean?
Yeah. So you're going to want to go to.
Don't actually, but yeah.
You're going to go to pinsandaces.com. You're going to use code CHGO. And when you use code CHGO, you're going to receive 15% off your order and get free shipping. It's pinsandaces.com. Again, you could buy the polo, then put the golf bag over the polo, then you could put the beer sleeve in the bag, and then you could go golfing and get tons of compliments on the course. And you can buy this this fall. Maybe you're looking for a Thanksgiving present. Maybe you're looking for a Hanukkah present. Maybe you're looking for a Christmas present. Maybe you're looking for a New Year's present. Maybe somebody's got a birthday coming up. Maybe Halloween's really special. Go to pinsandaces.com. Use code CHGO to get 15% off your order and free shipping at pinsandaces.com. Also, I think it was very funny that we brought up Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez being good at baseball. And right now, Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker proving that they are good at baseball, as the Astros have a 3-2 lead, and they're 2 runs coming on a Kyle Tucker solo home run and a Yordan Alvarez 2-run home run.
Yes, that was Dusty Baker hitting the home run button. Yes, a home run sign.
He flashed the sign, or they hit the trash can. I don't know which one's going on down there.
Herb, have you ever received a Thanksgiving gift, as Sean was alluding to?
No, I don't know. This is a new tradition. We should start it.
Yeah, hey.
Thanksgiving gifts.
Maybe you could get one for what's the Seinfeld holiday?
Festivus.
Festivus. You can get a Festivus gift. I'm just trying to think of holidays.
I've heard of Friendsgiving, which is weird because you're not giving friends. You're just gathering with friends.
Right.
It should be thanks friending. Thanks friending. No.
Thanks friending.
Okay.
We need the marketing team in on that one. I think.
Yeah, I think we should just scrap that bit. We should start a new bit though, and it's called "Where's He Played." We are now playing a new game show for your Friday. We are going to pit 2 contestants. Shockingly, those 2 contestants are Vinnie and Herb against each other, and they are going to guess where he's played. I'm going to give you a Major League Baseball player that has played for the White Sox, and you are going to try to name as many teams and the team names that this player has played for. To give you an example, I would say Paul Konerko. Herb, how many teams can you guess that Paul Konerko has played for? He's played for 3. So Herb would set his opening bid at 3. Let's say he said 2. If Herb said 2, Herb, can you say 2? 2. I would then say, Vinnie, can you name all 3?
Yes, I can.
Can you name them?
The Chicago White Sox, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Cincinnati Reds.
And that's how you play the game. And then Vinnie would get the point. All right. So we're gonna have
hide your chats, gentlemen, because people are already giving spoilers.
Go into full screen. This was an example though. If you didn't know where Paul Konerko played, you're not going to be good at this game. But the
point being that the first person does not need to actually guess all of them.
No,
they just need to guess as many or more than the other person.
You're just trying to beat the other person. So it doesn't. You don't have to win in style points.
It's like I give that tune.
Right. If I give you, a real random name like Daniel Palka, and you can only name one team, then you can only name one team. Right.
This is only major league teams, right?
Right.
This is only major league teams, correct?
Yeah.
Not organizations. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Just
he's only played for one.
Major league teams. So they have to have an at bat with it. I'm on Baseball Reference, only major league stats. So let's flip a coin here, and we will see who goes first. Vinnie, I will let you call it in the air. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Google is flipping. It is heads. Do you want to go first or second?
First.
Okay. All right. Do you want number 1 or 2? This is in round easy.
1.
Okay. We are playing up to 3. Your player is Frank Thomas. Frank Thomas has played for 3 teams. Can you name them?
Oh, so you're just going to tell me the max?
Yeah, I'll tell you the max so you
okay,
can max
cool.
out.
Yes, I can name all 3 of them. Yes.
Okay, now name them.
The Chicago White Sox, the Oakland Athletics, and the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ding, ding, ding. We're playing up to 3. Vinny has gotten his first point. Up next, and I'm glad it has landed this way, Herb, the second easy player is Robin Ventura. You put 23 in your Twitter handle. If you cannot name all 4 teams that Robin Ventura has played on, I think you need to take that number out of your handle. So you have no choice but to name all 4. All right.
All right, I'll go backwards. Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, White Sox.
All right, there you go. So now we're tied up 1-1. You've understood how the game is played. Usually Herb will have to bid and then Vinny could outbid him. But I would assume that if Herb's got 23 in his handle, he can name all 23 players that Robin Ventura has been on.
I thought he had 23 in his handle for Vince Velasquez.
But
yes.
Of course.
That's both. It works for both.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's on there, but I was going to name him, but it might be on later, so I might have to hold on with that Vince Velasquez one.
All right, Vince Velasquez is not on the list. Okay. Don't worry. Let's go to
White
medium.
Sox, Padres, Phillies.
We'll go back and forth. So Herb, do you want number 1 or 2?
2.
Okay. Carlos Lee. Can you name, or how many teams can you name Carlos Lee has played for?
3.
The max is 5.
3.
Okay. His opening bid is 3. Vinny, can you name 4 or more teams that Carlos Lee has played on?
Yes, I can name 4.
All right, let's go.
Chicago White Sox, Houston Astros, Milwaukee Brewers, Texas Rangers.
Can you name the 5th just for fun? Because you have gotten the point now 2-1, Vinny.
Carlos Lee's 5th team. I don't think I can.
Can I steal with Marlins or something like that?
You can't steal, but it is Marlins. Marlins is the correct
That was a guess. That was a pure guess.
Yeah, nice job. He was Miami Marlins too, which was pretty fun. 2012. So I'm pretty sure him and Mark Burley were on the same team again.
And Ozzie Guillen.
And Ozzie Guillen. But was Ozzie ever his manager?
Ozzie went to Miami the same year that Mark Burley went to Miami.
Right, but was Ozzie ever his White Sox manager? No, right?
First year, right? 04.
Yeah,
right?
2004.
Okay.
That's why he had to get shipped out, because he didn't slide into second and take out a second baseman after Torrey Hunter obliterated Jamie Burke at home the day before.
All right. Now let's go to the next medium. We'll go to Ray Durham. And we'll go to Herb just because I think it'd be
it's my turn.
It's
Vinny's
turn.
So Vinny, Ray Durham is.
So I'm going to put up the stink about that, but I think I can only do 2.
Okay, two players for Ray Durham. Can you name 3 or more, Herb?
What's the maximum?
4.
I'm going to have to name 3.
You're going to have to name 3.
Wow.
I know the White Sox.
Correct.
I know the Giants.
Correct.
I'm going to just go with the Athletics.
Baby, you got it.
Yeah.
And Ray Durham very shortly played for the A's. So he's stuck in the Bay Area. Can we name the last team? He played for 4. He had 54 games.
I'm just going to
in Oakland.
guess that he played for the Braves.
No, close. Honestly, pretty close. Milwaukee Brewers. So the
I don't know how
former
that's close,
Milwaukee
but
team.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Milwaukee Braves. It was kind of close.
I thought you were talking proximity instead of close, as in
they're
they
closer
used to play in Milwaukee.
Hey, Milwaukee's closer to Atlanta than Sao Paulo is. So there you go. They're close.
This is the first time we're doing this game, so I also set it up wrong. So let's just do this this way.
Go ahead.
No, let's just try to.
If somebody's listening
we're not playing up to 3.
They're in. They're dedicated.
We're not playing up to 3. You got to win by 2. How about that?
So basketball.
So we'll go next. Herb, your opening bid for player 1 or 2. Who do you want?
1.
All right, Jeff Keppinger. He's played for 7. How many can you name?
Jesus. 3.
All right, 3 is the opening bid. Can you name 4 Jeff Keppinger teams, Vinny?
I'll try.
All right, there you go. Let's go. We love a person who's game.
White Sox.
Correct. How'd you know?
Reds.
Astros. Astros. Did you say 4 or 3?
4. Said 4.
Okay.
And Brewers.
No.
Damn.
No Brewers.
So if I name the team, do I get the point?
We've got 4 others. Can he? Does he have to name the 4 other ones?
I'm gonna have to say
I'm pretty sure he played for the Rays.
He played for the Rays before he came to the White Sox, but I'm just going to count that as a loss. So
Okay.
you're gonna have to do
Get
Willie
my own
Harris.
thing.
You're gonna have to do Willie Harris here.
Bill
Jeff Keppinger
Harris.
played for the Mets, Royals, Reds, Astros, Giants, Rays, White Sox. So Willie Harris, your opening bid for Willie Harris. He also played for 7 teams.
Jesus, Willie Harris.
This works because then we have the tiebreaker.
I only have 3.
You guys would get up to 3 points. So 3 teams Herb is trying to name for Willie Harris. Can you name 4, Vinny?
Well, like that's kind of the idea, right? Is that like I'm forced to name 4? Isn't that the idea?
Or you just tell
like,
Herb
Well,
name your 3.
the name isn't
but,
so.
or Herb could be bluffing, but like, yeah, okay.
It's 2-2. So I mean, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try to go for the steal if you want.
I'm not going to try.
Just
Herb
name
can
them,
go.
Herb. Name 3 teams Willie Harris has played for.
The White Sox.
Okay, there you go. How are you guys getting the White Sox every
I don't
time?
know. These are pure guesses because I don't know Willie Harris's career after that. The Orioles.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. 9 games. He played 9 games with the Orioles, and you pulled that out of your ass.
And this one's going to be the guess of the guesses. The Braves.
Ding, ding, ding.
Wow.
Winner. That's 3 for her. Baltimore, White Sox, Red Sox, Braves, Nationals, Mets, and the Reds are the teams for Willie Harris. Herb gets the first winner of who he played for, is also what TNT called it. I have a tiebreaker, and we're going to do it for fun.
So he doesn't have to win by 2.
No, he doesn't have to win by 2.
Okay. Even though moments ago you said he did.
Well, here, how about this? If Herb wins this, then
Yeah.
then he gets it. And Herb, since you have
But it's Vinny's
the
bid,
advantage,
though.
well, I'll figure out the instructions. I'll
Okay.
type up instructions and everything.
You should have rules before the game starts.
I know. It doesn't.
We got to
my brain
go
doesn't
soon
work.
because the Bulls are doing stuff in that studio.
Trying to ask the tiebreaker. So Herb, the tiebreaker is Juan Pierre. Even though there isn't a tie. Juan Pierre played for 6 teams.
4.
4. Vinny, can you name 4 or more teams that Juan Pierre played for?
I will. Well, I would have to do 5, right?
You'd have to do 5. I'm sorry.
I will try 5.
Okay, 5. And if Vinny gets this, then we'll have another tiebreaker.
I've got 5. Oh, 5's easy.
Oh.
I've won this. 5's done. White Sox, Cubs, Rockies, Dodgers, Marlins.
Can you name the 6th just for fun?
Um,
Damn, Juan Pierre was a bad pick for me.
It was.
the other Juan Pierre team.
Mhm.
No, I can't.
Herb, can you get it?
I cannot.
Phillies.
Did not remember his Philly days.
All right, we're 3-3. Fuck.
We'll just be tied, Sean. I'm fine.
No.
We don't win a
Another
prize.
tiebreaker. Another tiebreaker. This is the final one.
So how about this is the for all the marbles, as the kids.
This is for all the marbles. Vinny, this is your opening bid.
All right.
Miguel Olivo. I'll give you one team. I think he's played for 7.
I can confidently do 3.
He's got 8. 8 teams.
Ooh, I'm gonna go 4.
4. All right. So you're gonna go for 4 Miguel Olivo teams. Vinny, you said 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. Herb, for the win. If you don't get this, Vinny wins.
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay. Mariners,
Correct.
White Sox,
Correct.
Brewers.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
I think I got 2 more.
Okay.
He definitely played for the Royals.
Yeah, he did.
No?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
and
He
I
did.
think he played for the Rockies too.
Yeah, he did. Right after the
Yeah.
Royals, he
Look at
went
him.
to the Rockies. So you got to see.
Yeah.
You knew Miguel Olivo from 2002 to 2005, and then picked back up to 2008 to 2010. He disappeared to Florida in the other years. So there you go, and to San Diego, where Herb. I think you and Miguel Olivo were in San Diego at the same time. But Vinny gets the win. Congratulations to Vinny. Gets the first.
Yay.
Who he play for?
The first win, though the rules
Kind
were
of.
questionable, and maybe Herb actually won.
We got the gist of the game, and then maybe we'll clean it up next time. We won't count this one officially. Join us next Friday for the next edition of Who He Play For. That's Vinny Duber. He's our
You're going to
champion.
confuse
so-
people with saying Friday. I understand that this podcast is going on
yeah,
Friday,
it's
but
gonna-
today is Thursday for every regular person. For us, it's Friday. It's awesome.
Yeah, right. And the podcast, people are going to be listening to this on their way to work tomorrow. So, that's going to be Friday. But yeah, today is Thursday, just to let people know. It's Thursday the 13th.
The
Vinny,
night the Bears lose at Soldier Field.
Come on. Why are you
I
doing
told
that?
you it's not Herbie Sunshine today.
It's not fun.
They're
Go
gonna
Bears,
lose.
my friends.
They're gonna lose. Bet the under 2.
I'm betting the over, so I'm just going completely
Oof.
against you. The
Lose your
winner of
money.
Who He Play For is Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. You can read his most recent piece at allchgo.com. He talks about Lucas Giolito and how he needs to, pick it up for 2023. That's the gist, right?
It's important off season. He needs to go to work. He's got Ethan Katz though, so that's helpful.
That is helpful. And we will talk about that on Sunday as well. We'll be getting into our player grades and our player report cards for their individual seasons. Lucas Giolito is first up on Sunday. So make sure you listen to that podcast. We'll be posting that on Monday. That's a podcast only, so we won't have a live show for you on Sunday, but we will be back with you live here on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel on Monday. I think we're at 4 p.m. Go Bears, but that's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's the CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you to the CHGO Cubs podcast for being so grateful and sharing us that audio of the Joe Maddon response to the White Sox gig. And thank you to Stephen Nicholas for producing the show. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us in the chat as well. We'll talk to you on Monday morning and then on Monday afternoon for the live show. We'll talk to you then. Good night.